Jerusalem. Russ, you disappeared on me, but tonight you're going to talk kind of a little bit about New Jerusalem, and so that would be very well. Russell, I just want to thank you very much for getting me up here last night and saying please put all your hard questions in, because we had a whole lot of questions coming in. In fact, there's so much we're not going to get through them all tonight, so we might have to leave some for another night. But yeah, so we've got a number of questions that come in, so let's go through some of them.
Good, Trav. Yes. And again, if you've got any hard ones, put them in, put Trav's name in brackets beside them. Let's have a look at what came in. Will people in the new heaven have memory of the past, and or will they know their human birth families? That's a good one for Trav.
We really should have sat down beside who was going to answer which question. The answer is absolutely. Absolutely. If you look at John 14 verses 1 to 4, Jesus said, I'm going to prepare a place for you. If I'm going to prepare a place for you, I'm going to come again. So therefore, the place that Jesus is going to prepare is specifically for you, and therefore Jesus knows who you are, and everyone else will know who you are in that wonderful place. Also, if the question is coming from the background, well, hang on, when Jesus comes again, there is resurrected. We are resurrected and our bodies are changed in a flash, in a twinkling of an eye. Perhaps people won't recognise us in our new resurrection bodies. All we need to do is look at Jesus. And when we look at Jesus, we can see that people recognise that it was the risen Lord. It was still Jesus, but he had defeated death. And it was still him. And in fact, when Jesus ascended into heaven, in Acts 1:8, the angels came and they said to the men of Galilee, in Acts 1 verse 11, men of Galilee, they said, why do you stand here looking to the sky? This same Jesus who has been taken from you into heaven will come back in the same way which you have seen him go into heaven. This same Jesus, the same person that left, that was coming back, you will recognise him, you will know him, and he had a resurrection body there. Mm-hmm. And so, absolutely, that is part of the great hope that we have, that we'll be able to see our loved ones again and know that they are our loved ones. Mm-hmm. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, great, Trav. I just was thinking too, maybe there's part of this question could be referring as well to those who are redeemed, one day reflecting upon perhaps friends or members of their family who chose not to be there with them, and will they remember them? I guess that's a good one just to say we're going to cover that in one of the sessions actually entitled Justice. So don't miss that one. Yeah. Let's have a look at the next one, Petra. Next one says, how did the world populate in the beginning?
That's the one for you, Russ. You've got 3 kids, I've only got 2.
Great. All right. Well, the Bible doesn't spell it out for us in detail. But if you take the facts that it does give us, it seems apparent that Adam and Eve had many children. Their children had many children. Where did they come from? Clearly there was intermarriage between the members of the same family. And we look at that from our point of history and we think that's incestuous. We have laws against that these days. My only answer is to tell you that in those days that's how God set it up. And the gene pool was a lot purer than it is these days, and there was no risk, as we would consider it, of deformities and so on. And clearly the social implications were very different when God said to them, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth. So that's the short answer. Got further thoughts or questions? Happy to hear them afterwards.
The second part of that question, which came in 2 parts, you want to put that on the screen, is will the rock kill this earth and its people? I guess you're going to talk about that tonight.
Yeah, so just reflecting on last night's message, we saw that there was a metal image in the dream, and as part of that dream, a great rock came hurtling down from nowhere, cut out but not by human hands, and it destroyed the image. This is a reference to the second coming of Christ, not an actual asteroid or a meteorite coming to Earth. Just as the metal image was symbolic of the Earth's kingdoms that we rule, there's not actually a metal image on the Earth. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the second coming of Christ tonight and hopefully answer any leftover questions that I haven't just answered there. But no, the rock, or the second coming of Christ, is not going to wipe out everybody on the face of the earth. we will answer what it will do this evening. Next question. When does judgment close for mankind?
Well, that's a great question. Let me answer it in this way. You may know that Russell is only here for a week with us, and then for some reason, family, kids, he wants to go back to New Zealand. But you'll notice that we have other topics that are listed here. And let me just explain to you what's happening. On your way out tonight, you're going to get one of these which says, Show Me in the Bible Continues. And basically how it's going to continue is on Tuesday nights throughout the week, we'll continue with these topics. And then again on Saturday mornings, we will continue. So next Tuesday night, in a week's time, when you come back, we will talk about time. And let me just read you the advertising that we have got to time. It says this: the Bible speaks of the time of the end. When does this start? When does judgment begin? And when does it end? So I guess this is one of these questions that we can say, come back Tuesday night, and we'll definitely answer that question.
Great. Next question. Can evil spirits have relationships with humans? Genesis 6:1 is part of the question. Just to read for you Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1, it says, When men began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they married any of them that they chose. The Lord said, My spirit will not contend with man forever, for his days will be 120 years. And so on. And then we have, very soon after that, God decides he's going to send a flood on the earth, because the wickedness on the earth has reached an intensity where God has said, I need to start again with a faithful family. So to answer this question, let me start by saying evil spirits, we see in the New Testament, they have a relationship of sorts with men, in that there were several people possessed by spirits. So I guess if you think of a relationship in terms of having something to do with humanity, yes, they do. But it was always destructive, and Jesus cleansed many people of those evil spirits. Much in the same way, a person can have a relationship with God through the Holy Spirit. But if we're talking about male-female intimacy with evil spirits and men, as is suggested in Genesis 6 and verse 1 by the author of the question, I guess the answer is to say that it is an ambiguous passage, that's for sure. But we needn't be concerned that somehow there were spirit beings having intimacy with humanity and forming offspring. That's not what the passage seems to be implying. If you look there, the term sons of God, taking an interest in the daughters of men, scholars differ on this one, but you'll probably find that the most reasonable and consistent answer is that the sons of God referred to Seth's descendants, those who loved and respected God. The daughters of men, probably Cain's descendants, and there was a mixing, and the wickedness that was certainly in Cain's descendants was affecting the whole population at the time. The term sons of God needn't be confusing. If you look at the genealogy given in Luke, you'll find that Christ's genealogy went all the way back to a man by the name of Adam, who was the Son of God. That's how it lists him there. So that's probably the short answer. If you'd like to read more widely around that topic, Pastor Trav will be able to help you with that. He's got some good resources. Okay, next question. Why don't you wear a suit and tie? Now, this one was put tongue-in-cheek, I saw on the card when it came in, so I thought tonight I would begin at least with a tie. But Trav, I know you've got a good suggestion here too.
Yeah, I think I have inside information on this in that I think I actually know who wrote the question. Pastor Sean Berkeley, could you just come here for a little bit of question? just stand up, Pastor Sean. Pastor Sean is the one with the short sleeve shirt and shorts. So
I'm going to take it off if that's all right.
Fabulous. Bransky, again, it's great to have you here with us, and we're looking forward to your message.
Thanks, Pastor. Well, good evening again, everybody. Tonight's topic is my favourite. We're looking at the subject of going home, to the second coming of Christ. Last night we looked at Daniel 2, and we saw that after these kingdoms of the earth, and then